What's happening, YouTube land? This is your boy, Trucker Sailor 1911. I'm going to do a little new video here about my new truck. My old Freightliner 15 model manual took crap on me, and is either wait while they fixed it or take a different truck, and all they had was 214 Pro Stars that were manuals, or a brand new 18 Freightliner, the new Cascadia, but it was automatic. I took the International at first, but when they left, as soon as I got in the truck, because they were closing right when I got there to the truck assignment building, they gave me the keys and put me in it, and they took off. I got in it, started it up, and the check engine light was on. It had an air leak, and the AC smelled like a hamster's cage. So I waited until in the morning, asked if I take the Freightliner, the new Freightliner, because even though I prefer manual over auto, it was brand new, and I knew I wouldn't have any problems out of it. And I've had a bunch of problems out of trucks here the last 6-7 months. So I'm gonna give you a little tour here. So climb aboard the SS Fat Boy, designation NCC 2018. And I am your captain, Trucker Sailor 1911, and I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the crew. Let's turn the camera around here. Alright, right here covered up. He'll poke his head out there. Look at there, buddy. That right there is Commander Dobby. He's second to me, or he's my number one, second to me, ain't you, buddy? He says, I'm sleepy. Leave me the fuck alone, fat boy. That's right, cover back up. Then right here we got Lieutenant Commander Squeakers. This is his favorite toy. See. Well, he don't squeak no more, but that's his favorite toy. That's Lieutenant Commander. Wake you up, Bubba. And then we got Lieutenant Unicorn bodiless rope thing. That's his second one. And then we got Chief of Operations Rope. And then last but not least is Orange Moose flat bodied thing. He's an ensign, red shirt, so when shit goes down, he's the first one to die. Alright. How'd you like my Star Trek thing there? Alright, now check out this gauge cluster. Ain't this pretty? A lot better looking than some of the older Freightliners. See if I can get that camera glare out of it. Alright, you know, it's only got one gauge for fuel and DEF. The blue's the DEF, and then over here at the air, it's got one gauge per tank, or one gauge for 2 tanks. The blue one's for the secondary. And it's got this smart screen here. Now you control it with this right here. This is your back button, and you're okay, of course, and then diagonal move it. This is for volume up and down on the radio, and then over here you got for Bluetooth, you got answer call, hang up call, then you got marker light, flash your headlights, and then you got set and decrease speed and cruise up and reset, and then you got cancel. And this is your menu button. So I ain't got it running yet because I've actually got in what's called optimize idle. I'll show you a little bit about that, but let's go back up here to the home screen. Alright, home screen, it shows your trip and temperature and votes and mileage and all that. And the next one down shows you your trip, then it shows you your leg. Alright, now you go over this driver assist. This is for the sensor up front, tell you how far a vehicle or object is in front of you. Then you got eco mode. It shows you if you're doing smooth throttle and general braking for downhill, a bunch of bullshit that'll brake easy. Then it's this speed, you know, it shows you your speed. I always leave it on that. The next one, you got your this right here is your menu for your truck. First you got hang on, take it up to the beginning. Cruise control, you can set your overspeed before the jakes kick in for cruise control. And then you got underspeed when it'll kick in to pull harder, and you can adjust it to what you want. Then you got transmission, that's for creep mode and e-coast. And then hang on, then attention assist, you can turn that off and on. I'm not sure what that is, I've never really used it. And then you got idle control. You can bump up your idle up to 900 from 550, 600. And then you have optimized idle. Now I have it set in an optimized idle, and I'll show you here. Let me turn the truck off. And you don't have to start the truck. You can do it with it started, or you can do it with it off. So you turn it back on with the key and just put it in an on position. You don't have to start it for this to work. You let all your gauges come back up and everything. Then what you do is you go down here to optimize idle, click OK, and it says blah blah blah, which is make sure it's park and brake, and the gear shifter doesn't go into drive or reverse. And you always got to, it won't work if the hood's open or the doors are open. Imagine that. So you hit OK, and it says code stability and battery module default on. That means that it'll, when you're in this mode, it'll start and stop the truck from running. It'll start it to run, and it'll stop it after a while to keep the battery charged from, you know, using the inverter and anything like that. And it'll also keep the engine warm during cold weather, so it's not so hard. You don't have to wait so long for it to warm up in the morning when it's cold. Plus, it'll help keep your tanks warm from the exhaust and your brakes from freezing up. So that's a good thing. And then you have select on for enabling with the interior comfort mode. So what this does is when you turn it on, it says stay by. It'll let the engine start up and stop the same way to keep the battery and the engine warm and the battery charged. This will turn on the heat and the AC for you. Now you go back into bunk and you turn the heat all the way up for the heat, or turn it all the way to AC, and it controls what's up front when this mode is on. Now, depending the way some of these are set depends on the temperature outside. Now, it's been saying for a while that optimized idle for comfort mode, interior comfort mode, won't work because of the outside ambient air temperature. But my company said they got a campaign to straighten some of these out because it's not the temperature settings too wide, and it's hard to get. So, but if you have that problem, you have a bunk heater though, when it's cold, you can you can hit OK and turn interior comfort mode off, and it still stays in the same mode to turn that off and on, run the truck off and on, but it'll keep your bunk heater going. So that's what I've kind of kept it at right now, because it's not too terribly cold outside, but the bunk heater is doing fine to keep the truck warm. Alright, so go over to the driver door. Pretty much, you know, you got your door lock and unlock, power windows. They are autos though, so when you push them down, they turn to auto. Mirror heat, and then of course select your mirrors to move them around. And then you got stupid ass clock on. And then you got the normal radio that's in about every of them, the newer trucks. It's a Dolphin, but it doesn't say Dolphin on it. It's made by Dolphin though. Then I got my this here's my load gauge, and you got your brake air gauge, and of course you got your air controls right here. It's pretty much standard like any other Freightliner. And then down here, this is nice. You got dump air supply, slide your fifth wheel. This is the unlock kingpin. There's no pull pin. It's all button operated. And you got your extra set of drives for power. You got DEF for regen button. Then HSA, I'm not sure what that is. It's got a little truck going up a hill and it has slash to it. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not really fucked with it yet. And then you got engine override. This is for the lane sensor to turn it off so you don't hear that when you go over the side of the line a little bit because the wind hits you. Traction control. Now on these trucks, since they're the autos, because like I said, I prefer manual, but it's auto and it pulls really good. It's impressed me, but I'd still take a manual over this auto. But it is nice in traffic and stuff. But it's a lot better than I thought it was. The first one I drove auto wise, I only drove it for a short time, but it wouldn't pull the greasy string out of a cat's ass. It wouldn't shift the way it should, in my opinion. But this one does pretty dang good, so I ain't got a lot of complaints. But it rides like a fucking Cadillac. But your traction control in these trucks, especially the autos, are always on. This turns it off. Alright, and then you got your rear utility light and of course hazard light. And then this right here controls your dome light up front. And then you got your sleeper light, then your ambient light, I'll show that in a minute. And then you got your light test for testing your lights outside. of course your air knobs, and then down here you got your little, I use this as a change holder, then my cup holders, you got a little smaller one down there, and then you got the little tray back there, that's why I put that there. Plus you got this little one to hold watt knots, and then you got your normal CB placement right there. And yes, it's Bearcat 880, but it is peaked and tuned, and I have a static mic, great mic, love it. And I got my lanyard up here and my homemade paper towel rack, you know. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Now some of them I've seen right here where this little square is, little dog here, that little thing right there is where your trailer brake is supposed to be, but this one doesn't have one. But I've seen pictures on the internet of some of these newer Freightliner Cascadias, the new body style, and the trailer brake's right here. So if you get one, that's where the trailer brake will be. And you know, of course, your doors is the same thing as a normal Freightliner speaker thing. You got your cubby hole down there. All right, and then we'll go up over to the passenger side, which it's pretty much like any other truck, ain't much going on. You know, it's got the power windows and power window, and you got your lock, and then, but it does have a glove box, which is kind of strange. I kind of wonder why it didn't. And if you're looking at the little box right here, this right here is my external speaker for my CB. Now you got, each side has one of these little glove box compartments above your head, and they just pop open like that, and they're pretty deep, you know. So you got that, plus you got these right here, the two in the center here. And then you got up here, yes, I carry extra butt paper, you never know. You got, you know, and I got my atlas and my little thing I hold my bills of lading in, and that's all the paperwork on the truck, and measuring tape, but this is all storage, you know. And then you got your seats. These are just cloth seats, but by God, they're comfortable, because no fat ass besides mine's been in it. And of course, you got your curtains for the front on each side, and then you got your main curtain, you know, to separate the sleeper from the driver's area. Now this didn't come with it. This here is mine. My wife bought it for me, and it's pretty handy to put my, you know, of course you got to have, you know, hot sauce. You know, that's pretty good stuff. If you ever see it, it's pretty good. I like it. It's not too spicy, but it's got a good little kick to it, and it's got a great flavor to it. Love it. Salt, pepper, you know, silverware, stuff like that. It's a good little thing, and I got it hooked up to the curtain, but the curtain is still open if I need to. But you got a cubby hole here, really nice. Got my bread and stuff in there. And then over here you got another one. And I got my fruit and stuff up there. Makes it easy access when I'm driving. Then you got one right here, but up top it's open here. Now I've seen some pictures, I think, on the internet, and they can go all the way up. But you know, I've got, you know, cubby here. You got your closet. Yeah, I just shoved my bag in there because, like I said, I ain't had this truck for very long. I haven't set everything up. Now you got, you know, table, and then you got another little cabinet. Now down there is for part of your bunk heater. Then you go to the other side here. This is cool. You know, you got your cabinet here. That's where all my food is. Plus up there. Now, this here's spot right here is for a microwave. And you got, if you look back there in the back, you got a wall plug here. And then down here where my cooler is at is where you can put a fridge. Because you got, it's kind of hard to see because of the light, but right here are some straps for a fridge. You can put a fridge that'll reach from the floor all the way up under here. Now some of them, they got a TV mount right here. So, you know, mine's got the vents in each side. And let me turn the little bunk light on that you can move around. Oh, I forgot about this. If you reach your hand up under here, there's a little light right there. Little bitty round light. Check that out. Alright. And then if you look on the back wall, it says Cascadia etched into it. And you got a little light up there for reading. And then if you come over here to this side, then you got your air controls and everything. Now this right here is for the built-in inverter. That's for the on and off, and you can select and everything. now, and that's my bunk heater. You know, I've got it turned on because in most trucks you just turn that on, you ain't got to have the key on or nothing, and it kicks in and works. Usually if you have the key on, it won't work. But for some reason in this truck, you put it in that optimized idle mode without interior comfort, and this will work. Now, if you just turn it on without it being in interior or into optimized idle, it'll kick on and work for about 3 or 4 minutes, and it kicks off. It pulls up a code because it's draining the battery too much, and the truck's cutting it off. So if you put it in optimized idle, it keeps it on. Now, if you have it in interior optimized idle mode, you don't need to have that on. You just have to control it with the air controls down here. Now, the way that works is you turn this all the way to heat. You don't, not like that or like this. It has to be all the way to heat. And you turn your fan on, and then you put it in interior comfort mode, optimized idle, and that's how you get your heat. This controls back here in the bunk what it does up front too, up in the front. Alright, so, but if you put it like this and the truck cuts off and cuts back on, it won't put it in heat mode, it'll put it in the AC. Vice versa, you have to have it all the way there for AC. If you put it right here or up here, it won't put it in AC, it puts it in heat mode. So it's one or the other. And then you got, you know, kill your speakers, and you got your light controls for your up here. Now check out the light in the roof. I don't know if you heard it, but the truck just kicked on. Alright, now these lights, you know, dome light, it should, see it flash there, turned off. Sleeper dome light, took them out, and there's one back in the back it turned off. Now you're in ambient light mode, and turn that off, see? And then that's all you got. Now, front dome light, sleeper lights, it's got one in the back, and then you got ambient lights. It's pretty cool, it's pretty nice. I like it at night. You know, sometimes I'll turn everything off but the ambient light, and it's just the right enough light to be comfortable in here, not too bright for watching TV or something, or playing on your phone. And of course it's got, you know, the vents. It doesn't have the windows, I didn't get that lucky. But, you know, like most of them that have the vent, it's got the little fan down here. But most of them, they're on top, but this one's on the bottom for some reason. I don't know why, but there it is, you know, turn it on and off. Of course, my pillows are in the way because I like pillows. And yes, giant Star Wars fan also, and Star Trek fan. My wife got me the comforter and the pillow for Christmas. And of course, like every Freightliner, you can, if I find a button, lift up the bunk. And you got your storage in your center. You know, I got my coffee pot, my drinks, and my boots back there, and some boxes haven't emptied yet. And that's the kickbox toolbox area over there, and then you got the other one. Now that thing's got that paperwork on it with the yellow stripes. That's the box that protects the bunk or the inverter. Pretty good size too. And this is another cool feature about this. All right, see this thing right here? You look up under it. It's a freaking ladder. So what you do is you reach your hand back in the back and push the button back there, and it comes out. See? And you just take it down to the ground. Bam. Ladder. Shut up, Dobby. It's alright, it's just me. Now you got a ladder to climb to the top. And then you got up here at the top. You got a light up there for whoever's up here, and you got your window control. Speakers, that's where the bunk hooks up if you put it up. And you got little shelves up here you can put stuff up. But I've noticed like stuff do kind of fall from up here when you hit bumps. And yeah, I've got junk stacked up here. Like I said, I ain't got everything put away. Oh, and my old Freightliner Cascadia mirror mounts and antennas don't work with this one. It's different. So I'll save them just in case I ever get put in another Freightliner. That's the older body style, but the one in this one's pretty good. Now, put this ladder up, you got to push. See, there's a red button there, red button there. You got to push both of them at the same time, and then you lift up, and it slides up like this, and then you just tilt it up. Well, hang on. Get it from the bottom, and then it slides back up in place. That's pretty nice. It makes it, because of the older ones you had to put your foot on the cabinet here, and then put your foot on that cabinet and try to hop your big ass in there like I had to at one time. So, but yeah, it's in battery mode, it says, and it's running. Feels like the heat's on too, so maybe it will kick on, except in comfort mode. So, but that's pretty much it, man. Guys and girls, that's pretty much the inside of the truck. I mean, this one's not like the super laid out model, you know, but it's a pretty nice truck. Rides like a dream. So I hope y'all like this video. Freightliner right there. You know, I used to not really big on Freightliners, but I like this one. I like my old one I had even before it cracked out. I'm usually a Kenworth man or a Peterbilt man, but this that last Freightliner and this one really impressed me, even though that last one took a crack out on me. But it's a simple fix. It's just they were behind on the other trucks. So, well, I hope y'all enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, share it on Facebook, whatnot. I'll let you see my ugly mug one more time. So y'all be safe out there, keep your shiny side up, and peace out, brothers. Bye.